afternoon and welcome to Stock Market Today, sponsored by Interactive Brokers. On today's show, we're going to be taking a look at the charts of Alibaba, RH, as well as Group 1 Automotive. But first, let's take a look at the major indexes. It's Alyssa Corum here with Ken Shreve. And Ken, another pretty ugly day on Wall Street. The NASDAQ closing down about 1.1%. The S&P 500 and Dow also closing with losses. We did end off of the lows a little bit, but more headlines here bringing more fear to the market today. Yeah, there's no question about it. This has been a market that's been showing some signs of distribution headed into today, but just when you thought the headlines couldn't get any crazier out of the White House regarding the China trade war, now there's talk that the White House is mulling investment restrictions in China, and there's often some talk as well about delisting some of these China companies. So we're going to talk about Alibaba, but names like New Oriental, Huya, NetEase, JD.com, a lot of China stocks hit really hard today on this news. Yeah, well, speaking of that, let's go ahead and take a look at the chart of Alibaba today. Since it did fall quite a bit here on that, sellers coming into the stock down about 5% today. It had been, kind of hovering sideways somewhat, holding above the 50-day, but now well below its 50-day and 200-day moving averages. Yeah, it kind of looks like a broken stock here now. Anytime a stock dips below the 200-day moving average, that's a longer-term support level. Not that long ago, Alibaba actually tried to break out over the 180 level. It and a lot of other China stocks were looking pretty good, but just broad-based selling in China names that resulted in the NASDAQ going below its 50-day moving average, and Alibaba giving up longer-term support here. That's right. It just goes to show you definitely want to be paying attention to these charts, and there are some bright spots out there. So let's go ahead and pivot our attention now to RH, because this one is holding in a tight range. It actually gained about 1.1% today in the retail space, albeit the upscale retail side. But I think broadly, retail is an area that we have seen a lot of strength lately. Well, and we've been talking about RH off and on in recent shows, but when a stock is acting as well as RH it deserves a mention. The stock was higher today. It actually closed with a gain of more than 1%. So it's just kind of trading tightly after a really nice earnings move. And, this is a company that's involved in a new strategy. They've got these big square footage galleries that's featuring high-end furniture, and they're selling a lot of product. And this is just a good retailer that seems to be immune to the selling in the broad market. So we definitely want to keep an eye on this and see if it might be able to score a new high sooner rather than later. Yeah, we will definitely keep tabs on that, and it has just shown such, wow, I'm getting all of my S's tongue-tied here right now, but it's shown very strong growth on the bottom line, and analysts projecting an uptick of about 48% for the year. Yeah. So that's compelling. Yeah, and when they recently reported earnings, they actually raised their guidance for the third time this year, so it was a pretty bullish conference call, and just going to keep this one in front of viewers' eyes, because it's a strong stock that could end up getting stronger here. Yeah. And it's ironic because it's a kind of a high multiple stock in the retail sector. We've been talking about these sort of more value names. Yeah, kind of money rotating out of high PE stocks, and RH still sells at a premium multiple to its peers, but I think the market is optimistic about future growth prospects. Yeah, that's right. And another stock showing a decent gain today is Group 1 Automotive. The ticker there is GPI. It tacked on a 1% gain today, and it is holding up after a recent breakout, Ken. Now, this is one that our viewers may not be quite as familiar with, but technically this one is looking very good. It's a very strong stock, showing signs of accumulation, still trading pretty close to an 89.10 buy points. It was interesting when I was looking through the MarketSmith Growth 250
late in the afternoon today, there was Group 1 Automotive and 3 other stocks in the retail wholesale automobile industry group, CarMax, Asbury Automotive, and also Lithia LAD. So 4 stocks in this group that actually were all higher today. So a lot of these car dealerships, used car dealerships, still seeing a lot of interest on Wall Street.
Yep, that's right. Very key to be paying attention to the hot sectors and the industry groups within those sectors.
Yeah. So it looks like we're going to get a distribution day again for the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. Again, we've been kind of seeing increasing distribution in the market. NASDAQ's below its 50-day moving average now. S&P 500 still testing the line, so we have another week ahead of us. We'll see where we want to go here.
Yep, that's right. Always important to keep a tab on what the market is doing, because you could get a really great setup. The fundamentals could be there, the stock in buy range, but if the market is not cooperating, then the odds are less likely that breakout will be successful.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a difficult market for quite some time. Difficult for growth investors. Obviously, there's been a rotation into some of these dividend-paying stocks like real estate investment trusts and utilities. But it's a market under distribution here, and we've got the next round of China trade talks starting October 10th in Washington, D.C. So hopefully, some good will come of it.
And for more key analysis on the market, you can always head to investors.com for our updates throughout the day and our articles on different news items, as well as technical action for individual stocks and our big picture update at the end of the day. Also very good to be taking a look at. All right, everyone, before we go, we want to let you know that we do have a new episode of the Investing with IBD podcast out now. A new episode drops every Thursday, so make sure you're heading to investors.com/podcast to listen to the latest episode or watch it, because we have a video version as well, and we show all the charts. And we will be having another episode of our investing strategies show at the NASDAQ market site in Times Square. So you can head to investors.com/investing strategies to keep an eye out for that. And this week's theme, very timely between all of the WeWork headlines and Peloton coming public, an update for everyone on the IPO market. So that is what we will be talking about. Keep an eye out for that. And with that, it is the weekend, so we hope you have a good one, and we'll see you back here next week.